Good morning, everyone. Today's news coverage will cover the history of books, how it started out from paper, and then with the development of the digital age of computers, we will explore how it would start to evolve due to the development of new mediums such as computers. In addition, we will find out from book readers, bookworms, e-bookworms alike, whether they would prefer it in the electronically or would they prefer it the traditional paperback book.
Go ahead.
Now we're going to be going around asking a few students, do they prefer electronic books or do they prefer paper books?
I prefer paper books because I like physically holding a book and being able to flip through the pages. Plus, they look really pretty on a bookshelf and all colorful inside your house. And they actually smell like ink and paper and old stuff, and I like that smell. Ta-da!
I like paper books better than the ones that are electronically done because I like the feel of actually having to flip through the pages and reading it rather than looking at a computer screen that is actually going to shut down or time out on me in 2 seconds. And I like to mark my books. I just like the whole feel of it. I like going into a bookstore and getting my books also, so that's why I like to get.
Go ahead.
My name is Terrence Galwell. I prefer electronic books the best because I feel as though I don't want to carry my books everywhere I go. If I had an iPad or something like that, just basically one book and everything right here, right? So I can have my biology book, chemistry book, math book, all in one little thing. So it's less paper to carry around too. So that's go for electronics.
So you just want to be friendly to the environment, so to speak?
Yeah, never thought about it, but yeah. Yeah. That's paper.
How you doing? My name is Fred Bent. I would have to say that I prefer paperback books because I just like to have a book in my hand to read. It just feels better to me, you know. And it's just nice to have a nice collection of books that you can hand out and all that type of stuff, you know. I even have a book on me right now. You see? I don't have books just on me. You see that? It's a nice paperback book. You feel me? I just like that. I'm just original, that's all. You know? I just like to keep it classic.
Kill the trees.
I mean, you got this like.
Awesome.
It seems like we do have some people that believe that paper books should still be around despite this advance of technology. When we come back, we will hear from the expert what they believe. And now a word from our sponsors.
This production of Read This is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. The 100-pence hand puppet, made possible by BleacherCreatureToys.com. Get yours for $20 at BleacherCreatureToys.com or at Modell Sporting Goods. Good game. Let's go eat. And by Dollar Express. For you, sir, $1. Nothing over.
Okay, books over time have changed in many ways. First of all, from the very beginning of the Gutenberg press, these were actually even before then, they were copied by monks, so they were incredibly expensive. They were hand done. And then we had the Gutenberg press, which absolutely made books more generally or commonly available. They were still expensive, and a lot of people didn't learn how to read back in those days. With mass education, especially in the United States, starting in the 1800s, late 17, early 1800s, books became more available. As technology got better and mass production of books got better, more books came out, the paperback. So more people started to read. So books became very common in households in the 20th century. And then today, of course, we have digital books, online books, and all of those. I think it's a matter of preference, which is better, the digital book or the or the old-fashioned paper book. I still love to open a paper book and smell it and feel it, and when I'm reading the book, everything disappears. I don't realize I'm reading words on paper. I'm just in the book. And I think that's the experience for a lot of people, at least my age and a little older. The digital books, I do have a Kindle, and they were probably the first and the only folks who revolutionized that ink. They wanted the readers to have the same experience. They wanted the readers to forget they were holding a machine and reading ink. They wanted the reader to get into the book. I love my Kindle. I take it everywhere with me. It's wonderful, but I never forget I'm holding a machine. It doesn't do what a book does for me. It's harder to annotate and all of those things. So I still prefer the older books. The only thing the Kindle has over an old book is that it doesn't matter. I can read a 1,000-page book on a Kindle, or I could read a 100-page book on a Kindle. It's all the same weight. It's not like I'm carrying around War and Peace. And it's environmentally a lot better. Not so many trees getting killed to make an e-text. So I guess even though it's probably better, and I'm bowing to the fact that this is the way of the future, a lot more students I'm noticing are using e-readers. They're using their phones to get texts. They're finding their textbooks in many different forms, PDFs. All of that is good. I have no problem with the changes. It's just I still prefer the old books, and I guess the only thing I can make an analogy to is that I also have an iPod, an MP3 player, which I love for my music, but I still like to listen to old records occasionally on a record player. So there's something nostalgic about that. My only fear is that folks who are under 20 right now might not know the pleasure of those old books. They're being raised on so much. And I guess people would have said the same thing back in 1600s when Gutenberg invented his press. Oh, we won't have those old copybooks anymore. So time changes, it progresses, it's all good as long as people are reading. I have no problem with how they're reading. But I prefer an old book.
I must say that I personally still prefer my good old books. I know I'm anachronistic, but I don't get the same pleasure reading online that I do reading from an actual book. Now, to be fair, I do use a Kindle that my husband has, and I find that to be satisfying at times. But I don't see the experience as being the same, and I feel that the technology actually changes the whole idea of reading. I personally prefer a good book. I think I always will. And I don't want to see books completely leave our civilization. I should also mention that while I do read newspapers on the Kindle, and while I even read New Yorker magazine on the Kindle, I find that I still prefer a handheld newspaper as well. Maybe years in years to come, I won't feel this strongly, but I don't think the experience of reading the book can be matched by reading something on the computer. And another example, I do quite a bit of work here at Community, and I can tell you that reading scholarship applications or even reading tests that I might have to do for placement or for some of the extra work I do is not the same for me as reading from an actual paper or an actual book. So with that said, I honestly feel that books to me are still number one. And while I certainly respect technology and certainly use my computer every day, the computer is not going to take the place of my books.
That is our report on Read This. I am Mickey Kelly. I hope you have a pleasant day. God bless you.